What's up everyone, it is Josh here for Love Wrestling. Make sure to leave a like on this video, click that big red subscribe button, and click the bell so you're getting notifications of when we're dropping new videos here on Love Wrestling. When it comes to professional wrestling, we're always trying to search for someone who has that famous two-letter word. We're always trying to discover the next big thing, the next breakout star of the industry. Who is that next one to break from the pack? Who is on the cusp of something big? Well, look no further, look no more. It is time to discover wrestling's next big breakout star. It's time to utter those letters. It is time to utter those words. It is time to say, you have it. Welcome back to episode number 5 of You Have It here on Love Wrestling. Of course, my name is Josh Robertson as always. Haven't changed my name as far as I know. Maybe, who knows? Maybe one day. Anyway, when it comes to you having it in professional wrestling, I think we all kind of look at people and we're like, you have it, you have it, you have it. Now, while this lady might not be at the top of too many people's lists, I think she's in the conversation of having it. And there was something about her when we seen her back in TNA and in NXT as a manager and doing things she's doing now. She has this tangible quality that not everybody has. Queen Zelina Vega, whatever you want to call her, has been a bit of a topic of conversation in the last 12 months. In fact, 12 months ago, she wasn't even employed by the same place that has now made her the first ever Queen's Crown winner and one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. She was released, as everyone knows, the whole union situation and all of that kind of stuff, whatever it may be. Zelina wasn't a part of WWE anymore, and then she come back earlier this year. Was kind of losing a lot of matches and, you know, being booked in a certain way. All of a sudden, she's Queen's Crown, the first ever Queen's Crown winner, and as of last week, she is one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, along with Carmella. So she certainly got some accolades to hold to her name now. No matter what you think about the Queen's Crown tournament, no one can take away the fact that Queen Zelina Vega, is the first, and can be the only first Queen's Crown winner. No matter how many tournaments are going to be a thing with Queen's Crown, or whether it never is again, she is the first. So there's a lot of things kind of going around Zelina that we're like, okay, maybe there is some stock to be had here. Maybe there is some money to be made here. Maybe there is some more that we need to see from Zelina. Of course, we know when a lot of people were introduced to Zelina Vega in NXT, of course, she was in TNA. She was a TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champion. She was doing other things. And then she always wanted to be in WWE. I don't need to tell you Zelina's story. She's told it in many different interviews, but she's always wanted to be a part of WWE. The opportunity came up with Fighting for My Family. She knows The Rock. She was playing AJ Lee in the movie, if anyone's seen Fighting With My Family, the documentary, or the documentary version, I guess you could say the movie version of the documentary about WWE's Paige. But Zelina Vega was in that as AJ Lee. The opportunity came for her to go to NXT. Now, I think a lot of people seen the name and they were like, okay, we've got a new talent to work with in NXT in the women's division. Well, it didn't work out that way. Of course, she was the manager to Andrade and he became NXT champion and she was right by his side, doing a few little in-ring stuff, a few little matches here and there with Candice LeRae, but mainly a manager. She would get involved in matches, but we really learnt that she was a great mouthpiece, that she could talk. She could really talk. And a great manager, something that's a lost art in wrestling now, is having managers and having them be important and having them be a manager, not just like someone that used to be a wrestler and is now a manager. Like in WWE's eyes, she was nothing but a manager. And I'm not saying that as a knock or anything like that. I think it was the perfect way to establish who she was because we needed someone that was different. And if she was in the women's division, I'm sure it would have went fine, but I think she would have just been one of the pack. It showed that she could speak. It showed that she could carry a program, especially with Andrade, who had limited English at the time. It's crazy to think that Andrade, who's now in AEW, and Zelina, who's now Women's Tag Team Champions, were once aligned with one another, but they had such chemistry working together, and it was the perfect foil when NXT was kind of thriving in that time, and Andrade was working with the likes of Johnny Gargano and Aleister Black and all of these people. It was so cool to have Zelina in that role. And then, of course, they got called up together, and it kind of just went the way it did. But Zelina was kind of pigeonholed into this role of like, you're a manager, you're a great speaker, but we're not going to really get to see you wrestle too much. She would wrestle here and there on the main roster until really last year when she came into the swing of things and was starting to work in the Raw Women's Championship picture out of nowhere, by the way. Andrade had left WWE, and it was time for him to go away. And Zelina was kind of just left in this spot where, what are we going to do with Zelina? Do we pair her with some other people? We've seen her be paired with Angel Garza, and we've seen her be paired with other different people, but nothing really felt as real as it did with Andrade, so she kind of went on and did other things. When we got to see her in the ring, though, this is when I really started to go, oh, Zelina has something more than just speaking. Of course, I'd seen her, like I said, in TNA and stuff like that, but not to an ability of, like, what can we really do here, where she was working with Asuka and stuff like that. The release happened last year, and as I said, she came back and is now doing all of these things. I think when we say you have it doesn't necessarily mean having it is like 100% the ready package, here it is. It's just potential. It's like you have it, but where is it in you? And I think we're starting to see that with Zelina now in this role that she's in, showing that she's versatile. She can do different things. She can speak. She can play the stereotypical queen royal character. She can be a great in-ring worker. She can work with all different people. We've seen her work with the likes now of Asuka and Liv Morgan, and we've seen her work with Bianca Belair, and we've seen her work with Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH. And Doudrop and all of these people. We're seeing that she is versatile and she can kind of be fit into any role that WWE seems fit, especially in a world where it is very character driven and we need you to be able to do all different kinds of things. Zelina's proving that she can do that right now. Whether you love the character, whether you hate the character, it really doesn't matter. Zelina is doing things that's showing that she has many different layers to just the stereotypical, I'm a heel and this is what I'm doing. I think we can show many different things. And in the ring, she can do some things that I didn't know she could do, and she's getting the opportunity to do that now, along with Carmella, and we're going to see where the Women's Tag Team Championship run kind of goes for those two, but it's really cool. I think we're finding layers, and we're peeling back the onion and showing the world, okay, this is Zelina Vega. You do have it, we just got to find it, and I think it's really crazy to say that a year ago, again, she was not employed by WWE. She had been released, and then to come back 9 months later, however long it had been, and kind of step back into this world and do all these things that I listed before. Pretty damn cool to say. So big ups to Zelina Vega. Queen Zelina, I should say. We may all bow down to the Queen. But that's going to do it here today for You Have It. We've got a few more episodes left of You Have It before the end of the year, before the Legacy of is getting ready to return in January of 2022. It's so crazy that we're nearly at the end of the year. It's the holiday season, everything's kind of happening. What a crazy time. It is, we're nearly ready to start the cycle all over again. I know we say this every year, but man, this year has gone so fast. But let me know what you think about Queen Zelina Vega, in the comments. What you like about her run so far, what you think she has in the potential, in the works within WWE and the wrestling world in general. But that's going to do it for this week here on You Have It. All of the links to Love Wrestling stuff and my stuff will be in the description box below. My name is Josh Robinson, signing off. I'll see you next Monday on You Have It. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen, and my non-binary friends. Goodbye.